Pull up a chair, my friend. Let me pour you a drink. Do you ever feel like you're just a background character in your own epic? You're busy, you're completing all the side quests that you're supposed to do, but it feels like you're hearing the stories of other heroes' deeds or just scrolling through their highlight reels instead of being the subject of the song. You feel like a supporting character, or maybe even just a nameless face in the crowd, walking through a story that some other destiny has written for you. Your days are on a set path. You put the needs of your company, your crew, or your family first, and there's this quiet, nagging feeling that the person you are today is just a distant echo of the person you once dreamed you'd be. Now, this isn't just a feeling, it's the reality for so many in this world. We get so caught up in the expectations of society and the duties of our roles that we lose our own place of importance in our own sagas. Life starts to feel like a destiny that's just happening to you, rather than a legend you are actively forging. But what if I told you you could fire the storyteller and rip up the script and claim the hero's role you were always meant to have? What if you could stop being the squire and finally step into the spotlight of your own wild and precious quest? As I polish this glass, I'm going to share the practical, actionable steps to do exactly that. We're moving beyond the common barroom chatter to get into the real magic of what it means to be your own protagonist. We'll explore three essential pillars that will help you stop watching from the shadows and start living like the hero that you are. Your saga deserves a champion. It's time for that champion to be you. Before you can change the world outside, the rebellion has to start from within, as all rebellions do. The first and most critical pillar of becoming your own main character is about taking back control of your own tale. It's all about rewriting your fate. It's about shifting your mindset from that of a passive follower to an active author of your own destiny. For years, maybe you've let others hold the quill. Society, your family, your boss, even your own self-doubt. They've all scribbled lines into your story, telling you who to be, what to seek, and how to act. True hero energy is about taking that quill back. It's a form of self-authored prophecy. It's the conscious decision to define your own epic. So, how do you actually do this? It starts with a simple but profound question. What is your great quest? Heroes are compelling because they have a motive. They have a deep internal drive that pushes them forward, especially through the darkest challenges. Your great quest is your reason for waking in the morning, the true purpose behind your ambitions. It's not about the treasure you think you should want, but about what genuinely sets your soul ablaze. Take some time to be brutally honest with yourself. What do you want your legend to be about? Adventure? Fellowship? Creation? Peace? Getting crystal clear on your vision and your core creed is the first step to building a life that feels like yours. The whole process requires you to let go of the need for external approval. A hero doesn't wait for the roar of the crowd to know their worth. Their confidence is forged in their own spirit. This means you have to stop being a people pleaser. So often we try to manage how others see us, bending ourselves into shapes we think they'll favor. That's the very definition of a supporting role. The hero follows their own path, even if no one understands the map at first. Part of this internal rewrite is also changing the way you talk to yourself. The hero of a story doesn't berate themselves into a shame spiral after a misstep. They learn the lesson from the trap, they integrate the experience, and they move on with new wisdom. This is the practice of self-forgiveness. It's about treating yourself with kindness, especially when the quest gets messy, as they often do. Ancient wisdom and modern psychology both teach us that those who see themselves as an active agent in their own life have stronger spirits and are far more resilient. By embracing this mindset, you're not just telling yourself a nicer story, you're equipping yourself to handle whatever comes next. Now, that being said, this isn't about becoming a tyrant. There's a toxic flip side to this, often called main character syndrome, a pattern of extreme self-focus and a lack of empathy. It's not a formal diagnosis, but it does share some traits with that of narcissism of old tyrants. Real hero energy isn't about thinking you're the only person who matters. It's about recognizing that in the saga of your life, you're the one who decides the genre, you're the one who writes the dialogue, and you're the one who directs the next chapter. Once you've rewritten your internal fate, it's time to bring that story to life. This is where our second pillar comes in, forging your legend through intentional rituals. An epic isn't just an idea, it's a collection of moments and deeds that push the narrative forward. Your life is no different. The grand saga that you're dreaming of is built from small daily choices that you make. Romanticizing your life has become a popular notion, but at its heart, it's not about performing for an audience. It's about injecting the mundane with meaning and intention. It's about taking ordinary tasks and seeing them as chances for joy and self-expression. This is how you start building a life that feels a little more magical, not by waiting for some huge, world-shaking event, but by elevating your everyday. The most powerful way to start forging your legend is with a morning ritual. How you start your day sets the tone for the entire journey. Instead of waking up and immediately reacting to notifications and demands, be proactive. Protagonists don't wake up and immediately check what everyone else is doing. They start their day with purpose. Carve out just 15 minutes for yourself. This could be writing in your journal, meditating, or simply savoring a mug of tea by the window, free from all distraction. By starting your day this way, you're sending a powerful message to your spirit. My peace and my story come first. Another powerful ritual is visualization. Now, before you write this off as wishful thinking, you should know that visualization is a tool used by top performers, athletes, leaders, artists in every field. When you vividly imagine yourself achieving a goal or embodying a certain virtue, your brain begins to forge new neural pathways as if it were actually happening. Try creating a vision board. not just with things you want to acquire, but with images that invoke the feelings that you want more of: courage, joy, freedom. Spend 5 minutes each day with it, imagining your life as if it were already your reality. This primes your mind to spot opportunities and act in line with your quest. And of course, you have to stop wishing and start doing. Most people spend their lives waiting for adventure to happen to them. A protagonist makes adventure happen. This doesn't mean you have to tackle the biggest challenges all at once. Start small. Just one skill you've always wanted to learn: to play an instrument, to start coding, to write a song. Just take the very first step. Sign up for one lesson, open the software, watch the tutorial video. Heroes are defined by their actions, not just their intentions. And celebrating these small victories is critical. When you complete a tiny step, acknowledge it. This builds momentum and reinforces your new identity as someone who actually does the thing. Finally, curate your sanctuary. Your living space is designed for your life. It should feel inspiring and aligned with your story. This doesn't have to cost a fortune. It's about decluttering what no longer serves you and adding small touches that bring you joy. Plants that make you happy, good lighting, a piece of art that speaks to you, a cozy nook to read. When your environment reflects the energy of your hero, it becomes much easier to step into that role every single day. These rituals are the building blocks of your new reality. They are the daily verses that, when strung together, create the epic poem of your life. By the way, if you're finding this old lion's wisdom valuable and you're ready to stop being a nameless NPC in your own life, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We post new tales and wisdom every week to help you live a more intentional and empowered life. You've rewritten your fate and you're forging your own legend. The final pillar is to fully wield the hero's aura. This is all about your energy, how you carry yourself, how you interact with the world, and the choices you make when faced with a challenge or an opportunity. It's about the outward expression of that great internal shift that you've made. First, let's talk about physical presence. Heroes just have a certain presence, and it starts with their bearing. Walk with your head up, stand tall, pull your shoulders back, and meet the gaze of others. This just isn't about how others see you, it directly changes how you see yourself. Research shows that simple shifts in posture can literally increase feelings of courage and power. You're telling your body, and in turn your spirit, that you are someone who deserves to take up space. Wielding the hero's aura also means mastering the power of no. A hero story is driven by their yeses, but it's protected by their nos. Saying no to commitments that drain your energy, that don't align with your values, or that just serve someone else's ambitions for you is an act of profound self-respect. Pleasing everyone is the ultimate side character move. Setting strong boundaries is how you protect your time and your energy so that you can invest them in your own story. Remember, every time you say no to a commitment that isn't for you, you create the space to say yes to an adventure that is. Next, you have to be the hero even when the path is dark. Being the main character doesn't mean life is going to be a road to glory. In fact, the best stories are all about overcoming great adversity. The difference is how you frame the challenges. Instead of seeing a setback as a defeat, see it as a plot twist, a moment for character development. Ask yourself, what would the hero version of me do right now? How would they grow from this? This reframe turns obstacles into opportunities for resilience and strength. It's all about understanding that even messy, slow, and unglamorous chapters are still a vital part of your character arc. Finally, wielding this energy is about building a true community. It's a huge mistake to think that being the main character means going it alone or treating others as less important. That's main character syndrome, and it's a lonely and toxic path. A true protagonist has a rich world of relationships. The difference is they're intentional about who they let into their inner circle. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and cheer for your story. And just as importantly, be a main character in their lives too. Offer support, celebrate their victories, and recognize that their stories are just as important as your own. A true hero energy isn't about being the center of everyone's universe. It's about being the secure, confident center of your own. So let's bind all of this knowledge together, shall we? We talked about the feeling of being a background player in a life that should be your own grand tale. We've also laid out the exact path to claiming your starring role. It's built on three powerful pillars. First, you rewrite your fate. You shift your mindset. You define your grand quest, and you take back the quill from anything or anyone who's been writing your story for you. Second, you forge your legend. Through small, intentional daily rituals, you start to build the world that your hero self deserves to live in. And third, you wield the hero's aura. You carry yourself with courage, you set powerful boundaries, and you learn to see challenges not as dead ends, but as plot twists in your heroic journey. This transformation doesn't happen in a flash of light. It doesn't need some huge, world saving event to kick it off. It starts with a single, quiet decision. The decision to stop waiting and start creating. The decision to prioritize your own adventure. The decision to believe that your story matters. And that you are the only one that can write it. You are not a sidekick. You are not a nameless NPC. This is your epic, your one precious and unique life. The only question is, are you ready to be the hero? I want to leave you with a challenge. What is the very first step, no matter how small, that you're going to take on your great quest to become the main character in your life? Declare it in the comments below. Declaring your intention is a powerful first move, and I want to read and support every single one. Thanks for listening to an old lion's ramblings. Now go write your legend. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Take care.